Hello and welcome back to another episode of Creator Codes. My name is Cassandra. I'm a spiritual guide, a mentor, a fellow human who is just doing the best she can on this journey of being in Earth School. So welcome back. I'm so excited to talk about challenges today. And this is an episode you can come back to when you're feeling especially challenged with whatever is going on in your life, because these are reminders that I always bring myself back into whenever anything is happening that makes me feel poopy, that makes me feel like, no, I don't want to do this right now. Let's go to an island, sip a pina colada, and go swimming all day. But that's not why our souls chose to incarnate here as humans on Earth. Our souls actually chose to come here because it is the quickest way to expand our soul consciousness and to kind of gain soul points, if you will. Every lifetime, we will gain some soul points. Sometimes we stay the same. You can't really lose them. There's different ways to degress, but you have to be kind of going that dark energy route. But I digress. And I'm really talking from a high level source perspective here with all of these episodes. And as I bring this information to you, I really tap into what the collective needs to hear at the moment. Some people will listen to this maybe a year or two from now, and they will need it right in that moment. And so my goal for this episode is to help you feel more at ease when you are facing a challenge, when you feel like you are up against a brick wall, you've done everything you could, you've done all of this work, you've been loving yourself, and it just is not working. It feels like I'm stuck. And the fact of the matter is, energy, we are energy first, right? Energetic beings. And then we become physical. That is scientific, energetic, spiritual, universal law that everything is first energy and then it is physical. And so if your energy is feeling stuck, and we keep telling ourselves that over and over again, sometimes we manifest the physical things in our lives that look like they are stuck. So first of all, when it comes to any challenge that you are facing right now, what are you telling yourself about this challenge? It is not what has happened to you that will dictate your future, but rather it is your response and your relationship to what has happened to you that will dictate your future. The relationship we have with our past is very important, because if we're in the past, could be 5 minutes ago, right? The past could be right now. Right now. The past could be literally like yesterday. Okay. It doesn't have to be childhood stuff. It could be anything that has happened in the past where it feels like your mind is spinning about it, or it feels like someone did you wrong, or all of these things, right? All of these stories come up from certain challenges that have come up in the past. And so when you look at your past in a way that gives you freedom, then you will create a future that feels more free. Now, this is a high level perspective that some people might not be able to tangibly get right now, but I'm going to do the best that I can to explain this for you so you can take any challenge that you're facing right now and face it. And it could be, again, something that it probably is something that happened in the past, and now you're just digesting it, right? And you're feeling into it. You're like wondering how to move forward. So the key here is to see what has happened as a key to unlock the best future for yourself. This is how some of the greats have created themselves on this earth, right? We see all of these people that have gone through the worst challenges you could possibly imagine. Harriet Tubman just came to mind for some reason. And they use whatever struggle comes their way, and they move forward where they are the victor, where they are, again, like it's having a key. It's like this challenge is a key. And it's a matter of having the audacity to put it into the lock and twist it and open the door, and to a totally new possibility. And this is why, if you're finding this podcast, you are probably someone who is meant to create ripple effects of positive change on planet Earth and beyond planet Earth as well. Because as we know, we're energy, we're soul first, we're spirit first, and we continue. You know, we never die. We never die. I just love talking about this stuff because sometimes my human mind is like, this is the wildest trip. This is the wildest journey. But when we have that perspective of challenges are actually literally the key to opening up this next door to opportunity, then we will feel so much more empowered when anything comes our way. So if you're facing something right now, if you got dumped, if you had to break up with someone, if there's like abandonment that's coming through, it could be feeling like you don't even know what you're doing for your soul path or your soul pull. Like you don't know what is best to do and you need to make money and it just feels like you're stuck. This is an opportunity for you. Because when there is energy that feels like it's slowing down, it's so you physically can slow down to really feel into, and I'm just picking up on journaling and writing things down, ideas and passions and what lights you up. And when it comes to like a relationship, it's what do you actually desire to feel in a relationship? Because if it didn't work out, then ultimately that relationship was not meant to continue on, even if maybe you're going to end up with that person again. But I mean, this is for the collective. So it's important to see what has happened as an opportunity. Challenges are opportunities. And the way to kind of get past my cats are right next to me and they are not challenged. They might be mentally challenged, but you guys are so cute. They love being by me when I'm doing any kind of work with my people, as you guys probably know. Anyways, the way to kind of overcome that like really emotionally charged state in order to move forward in a higher level way is to consistently, whenever something comes up, this is a practice. It's something that's going to become more natural once you start doing it more and more, is to allow yourself to feel the emotion, first of all, okay? This is not about spiritually bypassing. Remember, you're a soul, and so it doesn't matter. No. You're a human as well. It's 50-50. And so make sure in your human body you are experiencing these emotions and these feelings that are wanting to move through you. If you are feeling sad, if you want to cry, let it happen. And do not shame yourself for overreacting or for feeling as though you should be over this by now. Chances are you have yet to grieve what you needed to grieve in order to move forward in this new way. So first, deal with what is coming up emotionally for your human body, for your mind, and just for your heart's like softening of the heart is what I'm hearing. Okay. And so don't bypass that. Don't try to bypass that. And that is something I really want to make clear for this episode, because yes, challenges are opportunities, but they only become opportunities when we first experience what our bodies are calling us to experience. Oftentimes we experience challenges that are kind of a replica of other challenges that we never really process fully, that we never really truly learned from. And so this is why now, as adults, as conscious beings, someone watching this podcast, when you are able to see it from this perspective, and when you're able to be like, you know what, I deserve to cry. Like, obviously I'm a human, of course. I maybe I didn't process this earlier. Like, it's okay. Giving yourself that unconditional love, all of these parts of you that want to come up. Maybe it's your 5-year-old self, your 18-year-old self, your 20-year-old self, whatever. And you'll be able to actually feel more clarity after you let those emotions move through. So please do not bypass the emotional stage. It might be anger. And you guys, Cancer, not to go dark, but this is just we're spitting facts here. Cancer is caused by repressed anger. You literally can make yourself sick if you try to bypass. This is why some people that are such beautiful people that are so kind to other people, but they never allowed themselves to be angry, end up getting diagnosed with cancer because it's repressing. I'm fine, right? No spiritually bypassing, no toxic positivity, okay? We're here for the whole spectrum of the human experience. So, for the health of yourself and everyone you come in contact with, please experience your emotions. All right. And that in itself will help you feel more clear. When you're trying to push it away or stop it or tell yourself it shouldn't be like this, that is when you are pushing the lesson away, because it's almost like you're grasping at the lesson, you're grasping to get through it. And it's like, I've done all of this work, so I'm getting through it anyway. Like, that is when we actually create more resistance in moving through this process in the most graceful and beneficial way that you possibly can. All right, so that is key. Let your human be a human, okay? Be angry, be sad, and then you will actually feel so much more clear. Your nervous system will actually feel more regulated after you experience a somatic expression of emotions. Okay. And it might not just be one cry fest. It might come up, again, be graceful. It doesn't have to look graceful, but just have grace with yourself as far as, everyone's a little different with the way that they experience emotions. So that is important. And then after you move through these emotions, I'm hearing get a good night's sleep. So make sure you're getting sleep. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Someone needed to hear that. Okay, because this actually helps us process subconsciously these things that you are moving through on a conscious and unconscious level. So make sure you're getting enough sleep and write down your dreams, because there's so many codes in our dreams as far as moving through this challenge. So there might be a solution in there. There might be something that you worked through in the dream that helped just fully release all of that baggage you were carrying from it, right? And it's not to rush the process, but it's just helping yourself as much as you can through it in order to fully love yourself, not to change yourself, but to love yourself. And okay, after you get a good night's sleep, but not just one good night's sleep, consistent good sleep, that's really important. Taking care of our physical body. If we don't take care of our physical body, our energy is just, we're not going to even be able to access our intuition and how to move forward in the best way possible, right? And then definitely open up a journal and write down what you are grateful for in this challenge. And it might be a little intense to do that right away, but when you sit with it and when you put that pen to paper, and you kind of force yourself to look at what good is coming out of this. I even saw people, God bless everyone in Los Angeles. I'm recording this around the time of the Los Angeles fires. And I've seen people, actually my astrology teacher, Danielle Page, she is starting to hop on Instagram every night to say what she is grateful for that is coming out of these LA fires that would not have happened unless these fires did. And this is exactly, getting the chills, what will help you move through this in a way where it doesn't feel like it is taking your life away. It's actually adding to your life. It is helping you pivot in a way that your soul, it's been yearning for you. And this is when we start to really make changes, and when challenges come along. So be grateful that this opportunity of growth has arrived. And that's something you can even reword as far as the way that you talk about what happened. Instead of saying that was hard, that was hard, that was hard. What you are creating, because this is the creator codes, what you're creating with those words is this is hard, is literally a hard wall in front of your face, feeling like it's so hard to get through that it feels like a literal roadblock that is a wall that is so hard to break through, right? But if you say, this is an opportunity for growth, yes, it's still challenging. Yes, it is still hard. But when we start to use different words as far as what's going on, it's actually going to help our brains function in a different way where it will see it, you get evidence of what you are constantly thinking about, right? We get what we feel. We get what we are focusing on. Where our focus goes, our energy flows. So if we're focusing on an opportunity to grow, that's what you will see. But if you're focusing on this is hard, that's what you will see. So see how you are speaking about this. Now, again, in that first phase of a feeling emotional, say whatever it is. Say, this is hard, this is messed up, because you want to get those lower vibrational energies. Well, I'm not saying feeling emotions is lower vibrational, but the verbiage that is kind of like that ego of the victimhood type of thing, allow that to come out however it wants to, because sometimes it just needs to be expressed in that way. Let it go, right? That's how it can kind of go. And then when we get to this next phase, when you're writing in your journal, when you're talking to friends, how are you phrasing what you are going through? The more and more you talk about, oh my God, this is so hard, this is so hard, this is so hard, this is so hard, you're going to see that. So literally, like, start to use your words differently when it comes to this challenge, because it will allow your brain to function in a way where you will see opportunity for growth versus seeing how hard it is. You will constantly see reasons why this is hard, or reasons why this is a freaking beautiful opportunity to grow and blossom into the beautiful flower that you are. Okay? Because seriously, there are some really, really tough challenges that we all face, especially, again, if you're watching this podcast, if you're meant to make an impact on this world, you will go through it, period. And that is the best way, the fastest way to gain soul points in order for your soul to experience what it came here to experience, which is to bring this knowledge to life in a physical form. Because you have all the knowledge, you have all of this stored wisdom that when you bring it into this physical world, you're going to have to be shown the opposite to kind of bring that forth, right? You're going to have to face that judgment in order to really open up into unconditional love. You're going to have to face abandonment to truly feel what it is to be chosen, right? And I'm talking about like micro and macro. Some people experience massive levels of abandonment. It depends on what your soul came here for, but we can talk about that in another episode as far as soul lessons and why you came here. And, you know, a lot of times people would say, well, why did this happen as a kid? Like, how was I supposed to know to choose? Like, how did I choose that? Well, it is at a soul level. And now as an adult, it's doing with that something that will allow you to expand and grow in ways that is meant to help the world. Because oftentimes our challenges, if we didn't have challenges, if I came out of my mommy's womb and I was just like, I'm good all throughout my life, I wouldn't be able to teach. I wouldn't be able to mentor. I wouldn't be able to help people through challenges because I wouldn't be able to be relatable. Right? I felt like I was going to die when I left my ex. I literally felt my throat closing up like I couldn't breathe. And that is just one example of some of the things that I've gone through in my life, and we all have our own challenges. But what I'm trying to say is, if I didn't have that visceral experience that I felt like I was going to die if I left this person, even though I knew it was something that I had to do, then I wouldn't be able to relate to people who are going through challenging relationships. And I'm meant to teach about some big things here in Earth School, relationships, money, career, soul path, soul pull, intuition, all of these big things. And that's what my soul chose for myself. And it chose these obstacles in order for me to understand what it's like to overcome them. Because you can't have resilience or even character development if it's all easy breezy beautiful. Cover girl. You can't. There's no character development. You're just, I don't know, one dimensional or however you want to call it. And so these challenges also help you. I'm seeing the strength card in my mind's eye, right? Develop courage. You literally don't need courage if you have no challenges. And we build this strength, we build this courage in order to be able to face these challenges that come through with more and more strength and courage every single time. Every single time we build it, and we become stronger characters of this hero's journey that we are on. Right? And that's exactly it. It's a hero's journey. The hero doesn't become the hero without challenges. If there's nothing to face, then you're just, I don't know, a regular old human that is living a mediocre life, I guess. Who wants to be that? As an Aquarius, that sounds like the worst thing ever for me. And sometimes I will say, like, and I'm sure you guys can relate, where it feels like why did I choose this? Like, why did I choose this? It just feels so challenging. But again, it's coming back to the absolute truth of your soul fought to come to earth to do some really big things, to work through these soul lessons that is helping break ancestral patterns. And I know if you're listening to this, you are meant to break some of those patterns that have been in your family for decades, for hundreds of years, for centuries, right? And it can go back really far, and you are kind of like the chosen one in a way, but it's you that chose yourself. And when you remember that, it's not like, ugh, who told me to come here? It's, oh, I chose it. Wow. This is actually like Earth School. Like being here on Earth is a big one challenge. It's one big challenge, right? Broken down into micro challenges. So ultimately, the absolute truth is our soul chose this one big challenge in order for us to leave, or, I mean, there's many lifetimes that we experience here on Earth, but ultimately, once we're done with Earth School, we are, wow. I mean, talk about Jesus Christ energy, 1000 frequency. That is ascended master level. And that is possible for everyone. And it just depends on how fast you want to get there. And that's what we can do with our human selves, is allow our soul to be more in the leadership role versus the ego of the victimization. I need to fit in. I need the comfort. All of these things that like our ego wants so badly is to be comfortable. And when we let our soul lead the way, it gets really freaking uncomfortable. And the challenges will come to show us what we got and to expand in ways where we're not only impacting our own individual lives, but every single person that comes in contact with us on our path. Because again, if you're watching this, you are meant to really make a ripple effect of change, but you can't do that if you don't persevere and develop this character through all of these obstacles that come your way, because they're really not meant to deter you or even to test you. If you guys know me, you know I don't really love that word, but it's more to show you and to present to you an opportunity of what you got, of what you came here for, right? It's just like rising to the challenge. It's not, oh, I'm being tested, so I need to get an A. I don't know, that feels, I really did not like school when I was in school, so maybe that's why I don't like that, but use whatever works as long as it feels empowering for you. If feeling tested feels empowering for you, then go for it. For me, it's more of an opportunity of growth. That is what we're here for, literally. And I'm hoping that this episode has given you a different perspective on facing something that really feels like it's beating you down. You are resilient, you are strong, you are courageous, and it's because of these challenges that you're able to access these attributes and to bring them alive as your human self, your human avatar, and make your higher self be like, girl, Wow, boy, you are making mama proud. However your human or your higher self talks to you, right? I got a shirt today and it says higher self. I bought it for myself for my birthday. Just feels powerful. Anyways, um, yeah, anything else that's left as far as these challenges go that you need to hear? Just tapping in. Okay. Something that's just really important here is to not just rely on the energetic work to get you through of like believing and trusting and having faith in God that He has your back, whatever, the universe has your back, which is true. But you have to have your back first, and you have to show up fully for yourself in the physical. It is 100% energetic, 100% physical, or you can say 50-50, however you want to say it. And so that goes for yourself and your higher self, or, you know, yourself and the non-physical aspects of yourself and source energy. So it's not just relying that God is going to come through and save you. It's you taking small actions in showing up in the physical world, that you are understanding who you are and what you came here to do. And that might be, again, just like journaling and writing. That's one of the simplest ways. Breathing, doing some sort of, it's kind of the masculine energy, right? Because the non-physical is feminine, that receptive mode, the divine moving through you. But then the masculine energy is the emperor is now coming through, is taking action in a way that's very healthy. I'm hearing, like, I don't know, someone that's listening has some sort of control issues. I mean, don't we all, right? And it's stepping into that masculine role, whether you're a man, woman, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. That's not the point here. The gender's not the point. It's just you're balancing out your feminine and masculine energies. And the way to help yourself get through challenges is to not just trust that the divine has your back, because that is half of it, but it's also taking that physical action, the masculine, to ground in the divinity that you are, because we are here on Earth School for a reason. And it is to be physical here. It's not just to, again, with the spiritually bypassing, we're not trying to spiritually bypass and just be all love and light and oh my God, it's going to be okay because God has my back. There are physical actions that are needed from you in as far as using that trust. I had someone booked a mini session with me when I went live on Instagram today. And this is what's coming through for you guys, is connecting in your crown and your third eye with your sacral and solar plexus. You can just kind of envision them connecting energetically. And when we allow the energy to flow through in that way, our feminine will work for the masculine, right? We'll have that divine trust and take action through that trust. And we ground in our gifts of intuition and feeling that trust and receiving all of this divine wisdom and using it, and not just leaving it up in the sky, up in the astral, right? We want to ground that in because we're here on Earth for a reason. And so these challenges typically come from sometimes it's unexpected. Now I'm seeing Tower. See, I don't need tarot cards in order to do a tarot reading. But when the Tower moment comes, if it's unexpected, it kind of is like feminine, masculine, of like letting both of them run through in the most balanced way possible and not being so uptight about it. Because again, that's a little unbalanced as far as the energies go. But it's just kind of having that grace with yourself to experience those really deep emotions. But then being like, okay, I'm going to get up and do something for myself today that my soul is calling me to do, to actually show myself that this is working for me. And that could be literally just writing gratitudes down. And that will really help. So that's like a small thing you can do, is just the writing down, the journaling, and just looking at the verbiage that you use when it comes to these challenges, because that will make a huge difference. It doesn't have to be, this is hard, because that's what you will see. It can be, this is an opportunity, because that is what you will see. Remember, this is creator codes. So these are the codes in order for you to create more ease as far as moving through these experiences that feel like they are working against you, but ultimately they are not. And that is the absolute truth of it. When you zoom out, and you'll feel that and you'll see that when you tap in with your intuition, and you will be able to download these codes of how to move forward when you allow, again, kind of that spiral and that balancing out. Now I'm seeing temperance, the temperance card of feminine, masculine, releasing and trusting, and then moving forward, and then writing down and releasing and surrendering, and then just moving forward in a different way. And that is when you will move forward from this soul lesson, so it doesn't have to continuously come up so often where it's like, why is this happening again and again and again? And I'm just picturing someone in relationships where it's like, why is it always like this? Why am I always treated like this? And it's because you got to take that opportunity to grow rather than saying it's their fault, right? So don't be the blaming and shaming to others or to yourself. It's more of a curiosity of how this has, as far as the creator codes go, how have you created this situation in your life? And how is I an energetic match to this? And where am I treating, and we're going to talk about reflections in another episode, but basically it's like, where am I treating myself like I don't matter? Because this other person or these relationships keep treating me like I don't matter, or like I'm forgotten. They keep forgetting about me, or they just aren't giving me this love that I yearn to have. It's like, okay, well, where are you not giving yourself the love that you yearn to have? So we can look forward to that episode about reflections and how, that's one of the biggest creator codes right there, is the law of reflections, and seeing in our physical world how everything is created from our creator fields, and what's in our creator fields will literally give a script to everyone in our lives of how they treat us. And so this is where a lot of challenges come from, is us. We are not necessarily seeing ourselves fully or experiencing love fully with ourselves. So other people and other circumstances have to happen so we can have this wake-up call. Otherwise, it just stays unconscious, or we're not dealing with it because we're not seeing it. It's just these repeating patterns in the outer world that are actually like calling for our attention. Hello, hello, hello. You're not loving yourself. And eventually, once we get it and we give ourselves that love, bada bing, bada boom, baby, we move forward in a way where we are more on the path that our soul is like, ding, ding, ding. All right, on to the next here. Now you can enter a relationship where it's more, I was going to say it's more reciprocated, but it's always reciprocated, what you're giving to yourself and what you're getting from someone else. But anyways, don't want to spiral too much. Just know that challenges are here to help you, no matter where they came from, right? But as the creators, we know ultimately our higher selves brought these challenges on our timeline that we are on in order to possibly shift us to a different timeline, in order to wake us up to our power, to our gifts, to our love that we just are not experiencing at the level that we can be at. And there's so much potential that humans leave on the table. And I know if you're listening to this, you are not someone that wants to leave that potential as far as your soul path, soul pull goes. So this is one of the biggest codes. Use anything that's coming up right now to be inquisitive about, to look at yourself and think, wow, this is incredible that this is happening in my life. And I'm really curious to see what it's here to show me. And you'll really discover a lot about yourself and probably come back to, oh, okay, this is something I was not seeing before. And even just that recognition, that's going to help your soul expand and like shift and all of these things that are ultimately here to help you and many other people that have soul contracts to be in your life for you to help them, right? So thank you for tuning into this episode today. I really hope it gave you some sort of exhale, okay. And you're not alone. Trust me, you are not alone. You're not alone. This is so difficult sometimes. And I'm saying that just to, not to It's not something I usually say, but I'm just reassuring you that yes, it is difficult, okay? It is meant to be challenging. It is meant to feel like sometimes it's meant to feel like WTF, or like why am I here? And it's to help you remember why you're here, right? So, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you are on the waitlist for Tarot Intuition Mastery. We are going to be going into so many different things, including channeling information from the highest light source, energies, your higher self, your guides. And it's going to be, with and without tarot cards, of being able to channel this information, but you're also going to learn everything that I know about tarot. I am not leaving anything on the table. You get a tarot and numerology cheat sheet, all of the things, and even readings in these live calls that we will have. And we have 6 live calls, 6 recorded calls. So take advantage. I don't know when I'm going to be doing this live again. It's going to be epic. You're going to have a community of people where you can practice readings with, and it's just going to be a place where your soul is going to expand. So yes, there might be some challenges in there, but they are not, they're probably not anything like maybe you're experiencing now. God bless you. It's just more of the brain and the consciousness of really learning about the symbology and certain things that maybe you thought were one way, but it's going to open you up to other things. Anyways, love you guys so much, and I cannot wait to see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.